Hey, I'm Jesus Christ. I'd like to speak to you from my deathbed, and I'll tell you why it's my deathbed real quick. That is why it's my deathbed. It looks like death. Okay, I've been prompted to speak. I don't know what to speak about, so I'm going to speak about maybe dreams and music. So, me as a kid, like age 15, okay, I was a surfer as a kid. I started surfing when I was a teenager. And then at age 15, I started listening to heavy metal, like 14 or something like that. At age 15 in high school, I was the biggest dork on the planet. In the planet, I thought I was the biggest dork in the world. By the way, biggest dork at the school. At age 15, my brother wanted a guitar, and I was like, I'd kind of like to have a bass because like something about the bass just kind of felt right. So I asked my parents for a bass, and I got a bass for Christmas. And I'm like 15 years old, and then like within 2 months, like I started playing a little bit. I wasn't very good. Within 2 months, a guy from my school named Steve Ferraro that played guitar. He's pretty good. Asked, "Hey, you want to play in my band? We'll put a song together. We'll play in the high school talent show." So like I was like, "Yeah, man, if I can do it." So we learned a Pink Floyd song. It was Pink Floyd. I think it was The Happiest Days of Our Lives and Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. I learned the bass line to that. I'm like 15 years old. So we got that stuff down, and we went and played in the talent show, and I was on stage for the first time. Scared out of my mind, but I loved it. I'm the only one that didn't screw up, by the way. Well, maybe that some of the other people didn't screw up. The guy that's the most talented screwed up. We played Pink Floyd, The Happiest Days of Our Lives, I think it was, and Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 for sure. That was age 15. The moment I walked off that stage, I loved it. I was like, I got to do this again, man. I was walking high. I just loved it up there. I was scared out of my mind, but I loved it. So then a couple months later go by, we have a chance again as a band to like, our high school had a battle of the bands one week where we were going to have three different bands playing in the high school quad for the entire lunch. We had a half hour. Each band gets to play the full half hour lunch session. So like, my band and another band named Lemon Tree and another band played all Pink Floyd stuff. We each took our slot, And my band, we played stuff. We played a couple Metallica songs. We played For Whom the Bell Tolls. And we played Orion. We started out with Pink Floyd, In the Flesh. We played Black Sabbath, Paranoid. We played Anarchy in the UK. And what else did we play? Another song we called Passing Stranger, which is a punk song. It sounded kind of like in California, the KFWB News 98 radio station music. We played some songs. I sucked, but I got up there on stage. I got to play. I was playing bass, and I got to play the lead to For Whom the Bell Tolls, which is Cliff Burton, my hero, played. I was inspired by Cliff Burton, the bassist. All right. So this stuff happens. My band didn't win the Battle of the Bands, but I get to play it at the middle of my high school in front of all the kids at lunch for a half hour. I loved it. I never forgot. And then, within 6 months or something, my friend Steve moved. I remember breaking down in tears and crying like a baby, and because he was gone. I knew my dream of being a musician was gone. And I wanted to be, from that moment I was on stage, I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to be a rock star, but I didn't dare dream it. Even my friend said he wouldn't want to be a musician. He'd rather just be a stage tech. But I had the dream of being a musician, but discounted it, discredited it. I didn't believe it was possible. So that's at age 15. That was the end of my band, like right then. And then like I get into drugs and years go by. I'm 15 years old then. I basically give up bass within the next year or two and don't play till after age 40, okay? After age 40. I stopped playing bass, forgot about bass, thought I'd never play again. And then after age 40, like I was newly sober from alcohol, and I was in this new apartment. I had nothing to do, and I had this cheap acoustic guitar, which I didn't really enjoy playing, and it had really old strings. I wanted something to do, so I had nothing better to do. And I just sold my Ninja motorcycle, and I had like $3,000 in my pocket. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get some strings. I got nothing better to do. Let's go to this mom and pop shop. But backstory is when I was playing on the high school quad, I had this BC Rich bass guitar. This BC Rich bass, it looked evil. I loved it. And I was inspired by BC Rich because Slayer played BC Rich. My bass guitar was not a pussy fart, round, mild cupcake, wimpy bass. It would look evil. I loved it. So remember, I missed this bass. I sold this bass for speed, by the way, and I missed it for the next 20 years. Like, why did I sell that bass? Why did I sell it? Ah, I was just pissed off that I sold that bass, and I thought about it for the next 20 years. But anyway, so after age 40, I walk into this mom and pop shop, and the guys all would look for. I said, "Oh, some strings. What kind do you want?" I used best of my memory. I said Diodario. I couldn't even remember the string names. He said, "I got some of those." And he said, "You want anything else?" And I had $3,000 in my pocket. And out of the side of my neck, I said, "Well, I don't know. If you had a BC Rich bass, I might buy it." And he said, "I do have a BC Rich bass. It was used. It was a cheap BC Rich Warlock." I said, "I'll buy that." Remember, I'm Jesus Christ. I wanted a Warlock bass. Because I like evil stuff. I bought this Warlock bass and an amplifier and put it in my apartment. And I didn't play it much for a little bit. And I was on drugs. I had never been able to play with my fingers. I only played with a pick, and I was not very good at it. I thought I could never play with my fingers like Cliff Burton did. I thought I could never learn it. I started playing this bass a little bit of time. And I decided, because I had broken my thumb, because I can't hold the pick correctly because I broke my thumb when I was drunk once. So my fingers won't hold the pick correctly, so I can't play. So I said, if I'm going to play bass, I have to learn to play with my fingers. I won't put any expectations on myself as like, if I don't get good, I don't. But I'm just going to force myself every time I play to learn to play with my fingers. I found internet resources. One guy named Talking Bass showed me how to play with my fingers. I started getting better at it, and I'm playing. And after a little while, I started playing bass more and more. I was sober, and I started playing bass. I started wanting to play it more. I started getting better. Man, I'd kind of like to be in a band again. So like, my only thought was, we have YouTube now. What if I record something and put it on YouTube? I'm scared, but at least someone will hear me out there, and maybe someone will listen to me. So I went on YouTube, and I sucked. I was not doing good, but I had this dream of being a band. I just wanted to be in a band. I wanted to play in a band. So I started going on YouTube, and I hadn't been playing long, and I was very green, no songs written. I was still screwing up a lot. I didn't have any songs written, but a couple months go by of being on YouTube, sucking, by the way, but Kirk Hammett spotted me, I believe. Kirk Hammett and Metallica spotted me, and they said, "There's a guy that's brand new that's just starting to play. He doesn't have anything yet. We see potential in him." So this I think this happened. So one morning here in Spokane Valley, Washington, I'm on a walk, and all of a sudden this cocky bastard comes pulling up in a Ford truck. Who's this dick? I thought, and he hops out and walks past me grinning at me. It was James Hetfield. Hops out of his truck, walking past me grinning, and I went, "Oh my God!" And I realized Metallica's watching you, Chris, and it lit me on fire. And I started playing harder. I started playing more, and stuff happened. I still sucked for a couple of years. Hadn't written a full song. Hadn't even written one song yet. I just basically would go up there and play and improvise the entire time. I hadn't even completed a song. So anyways, fast forward. All of a sudden, because of my dream of being in a band, I go on social media. I go on the internet. Then James Hetfield spots me, basically anoints me, like King David. A lot later, because of that, I started seeking Lauren. I was a fan of Lauren Daigle. Because I went on the internet. I didn't even go on social media until I started playing bass. That's why I went on. But anyways, I'm rambling. So because I was playing bass, I was on the internet. I approached Lauren Daigle and made a comment to her because I thought she was hot. And stuff happens, and all of a sudden, she starts coming in my direction with posts. And then finally I asked her to marry me, and she said yes. And then we talked for a couple of days. She said, "Will you wait for me for 2 years?" And I said, "Yeah." So I'm waiting for her right now. But meanwhile, I want to tell you the moral of the story here. Your dreams can call you into destiny. You never know what's going to happen from something. Listen to your heart. I wanted to be a musician. I didn't think I was good enough, but I wanted to be in a band. And because of my dream of being a musician, it brought me onto the internet. It brought me, Metallica spotted me. I think they're going to use me in the future. I'm engaged to Lauren Daigle. I think she can bring me on stage. And I'm getting better. I have songs written now. You never know what your dreams can call you. Man, I was a dork. I thought I had schizophrenia. Thought I was dumb. Thought I sucked. So many things. You never know what your dreams can call you into. So yeah, as you see, I'm not physically with Metallica right now. I'm not physically with Lauren Daigle. But if you go on my page, you can see that I have some songs written. And they're pretty unique. I want you to know, don't ever discount your dreams. They're there for a reason. Your dreams are like a heat-seeking missile to call you into destiny. And also part of the story is because of being a bassist, it led me onto the internet, and I realized I'm Jesus Christ. So now I'm ministering to the world as Jesus Christ, the bassist. I'm engaged to Lauren Daigle. I'm pretty sure Metallica's going to hire me. I'm supporting Donald Trump. Just don't ever discount your dreams if you're a kid. Don't ever don't ever discount them. Do what you love. There's a reason you have those dreams. Don't give up on them. I've went from nothing to there's a really awesome reality coming to me very soon. So I just want to tell you that do not discount your dreams. You never know what can happen with a small little dream. Peace be with you.